So while we were waiting on the other company to be able to come in and help us, we had an event going on. Pivot.
So Gar and I and Marie and Ellie, we all arrived at Wade's house. I believe it was early Thursday morning. We got there before the whole rest of the group got there, and we were all there for Pivot.
May 17th, I believe was the date. We had to call a plumber into the house because that toilet also would not flush.
We ended up using the restroom, and I noticed that the toilet got backed up. So I mentioned to Wade. I believe the next day the plumber ended up coming out. I believe he said it was something like a piece or some of the part of the chain inside the toilet wasn't fixed. Regardless, the plumber said that should all be good.
But that toilet and this house were far from done with us.
So I get there Friday evening, toilet's working fine, no issues again. I'm sleeping directly under this toilet.
May 18th, I found this out later. JP, who was staying with us, woke up, opens his eyes, stretches, looks at the ceiling, and says to himself, is that yellow ring supposed to be there?
I wake up and there is a huge water stain on the ceiling. I mean, I'm not talking like a little bit of a water damage, no. I'm talking like an actual bubble that was a little bit sinking in the middle.
But rushing to get ready so we wouldn't be late to the event, he neglected to mention it to me until later that night. And I don't know if it's coincidence or irony or what to call it, but we decided to celebrate a good day out by watching scary stuff on TV. Top 5 horror this, top 5 haunted this. And as we wrapped up and all got ready for bed, JP turned on the light in his room, and not only was there a yellow ring on the ceiling, but the ceiling was sagging. And he said, oh yeah, meant to tell you about that earlier, kind of forgot, but I think there's something wrong.
I completely forget to tell him. Honestly, my bad on that. Probably should have told him.
So upon seeing a very familiar sight of a water damaged ceiling, and I felt around the yellow portion to see if it was still dry or wet.
Wade's like on my air mattress trying to feel it, but he's only touching the outside.
JP decided to do the same thing, but instead of feeling around with his hand, he took a single finger and went right for the center of the ring.
And then he just bounced on his bed and boop.
I go right for the middle because that's just what I do. Water is just flowing out and I am just sitting there taking it. I do not question life at that moment.
The house soiled all over him.
We all just stood there shocked.
I was probably standing there for easily like 10 seconds just letting water flow on me.
All over his bed, all over all of his possessions. But thankfully this time it spared the floor, so I guess there was a bright side for us, but not for poor JP.
So, what you're saying is, JP was literally covered with shit.
It didn't smell terrible. I thought it was clean. However, it turns out it was actually really poopy water.
Yeah, it was shit.